Hello? Is anybody there? I don't know if anyone's here yet, so I'm just going to play some music. There are some people in the room, that's cool. Say hello in the chat. Let me know who you are. I'm just playing a bit of a jam. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me, and all the rest of it. And definitely have those questions ready. There's 2 people in the chat. Say hello. Let me know who you are. Let me know about the sound levels. Hello JG. Hello Matt. Now there's 5 people in here. Rival, hello Rival, good to see you. And thank you to UK Guitar Noodle for letting us know. For saying hello, even though he isn't going to be here, that's very nice of him. Matt, what is the USB velocity of an unloaded swallow? Is that the African or the other one? Oh yeah, I've got taste in films. JG, you love the RG565. I did an entire video talking about the RG550 compared to the RG565 reissues, Genesis. In that video I came to the conclusion that the 550 was hands down the winner. I don't know these days. When I pick up this guitar, I have a lot of love for it. I don't know if in the long run, you know, in a year's time, maybe I will like this better than the 550. I can't believe I just said that. The 550, the RG550, was my dream guitar. Oh, UK Guitar Noodle, you are here. Good to see you. And you're going seeing Steve Vai tomorrow. We're all very jealous. I completely forgot For the Love of God. I know it's in E minor. Imagine I'm playing it. Doesn't matter. It's in there somewhere. I knew it was there. G. What is that bit? taught it more times than I've played it. I don't have to learn it, my students do. I'm not going to try and do that again. I'm going to play stuff well within my ability. Goodbye, UK Guitar Noodle. Got 6 people in the room. Hello, 6 people in the room. Okay, let's get going. Let's get going. I need to ease into these things. If any of you have ever watched my live streams before, you know that I always get a bit of jitters. I try not to show it. Try and let the old one man and his acoustic guitar bravado come out. That's what I used to do way back before the you know what happened a couple of years ago. I used to go out and play one man and his acoustic guitar gigs and do covers. I used to do rock covers of all the classic rock songs, where I would require a capo for every single one of them, because my vocal range, you've heard me speak, got quite a deep voice. So just trying to sing songs by Iron Maiden, Journey, Bon Jovi, just crowd pleasing rubbish really. People always say, you don't look nervous to me, and I am really nervous. I get very nervous when it comes to performing, but you know, I try not to. I look at my hand, steady as a rock, but this is my fretting hand. What film reference is that? Okay, so you know, today's a bit of a Q&A. Now, Duncan yet again came in with a question on the actual post. You might have seen that I did a post just promoting this live stream. And today's a Q&A because I can't be bothered. I teach guitar all the time and I talk about guitar all the time. Today I am going to talk about guitar because I love it, but I'm not pre-planning this hour. I'm not doing a lesson plan. I'm keeping it free and easy. I'll do a proper one next, but this one, I'm letting myself off a bit. And Duncan asked me this question. He said, so I won't get the thing up just to save time, but he asked me a question along the lines of if I could only listen to one band, I think he said for the rest of my life, who would I choose? And he went on to choose Metallica, saying that he loves all the songs and they've got varied songs. I think that's a good choice. I'm going to have to say that I would choose someone who I know that I really like, but I haven't heard everything from them yet. So, and I'm going to be very, very, what's the word? In England, we'd use the word poncy. Pretentious would be the American equivalent. And choose jazz, and probably say someone like Chick Corea, just because his stuff ranges from piano, jazz, to quite hard fusion. Not hard as in heavy thrash, death metal, far from it, but there's some electric. He's got Chick Corea's electric band. I would have to say Chick Corea. I've been listening to Chick Corea for ages and ages and ages, and I've still not really scratched the surface. That's what I found with jazz, that you can listen to the same thing over and over again and discover new things. Very pretentious answer. Let me give you a rock answer because I'm off to Graspop. I'm off to Graspop to see in Belgium, to see all the big heavy metal bands. Heavy metal is my first love. So I would probably have to choose some bands like maybe Mayhem. I love Mayhem. Completely over the top heavy metal, black metal, extreme metal, whatever you want to call it. So any other questions? Keep them coming in, or else this is going to be a very awkward Q&A session. So I'm going to do a bit of jamming, and then I'm going to review the chat. Keep them questions coming in about anything. Guitar, I might answer some stupid questions, but let's keep it guitar. And theory, you know, that's my favourite subject. Of course I meant those notes. Okay. JD, they're almost the same guitar. They are. The RG550 and the RG565 are pretty much the same guitar when you're holding them and you're playing them. And I don't know if it's because I swapped the pickups. I don't know if I'm going to, in the 550, but I don't know if I'm going to swap the pickups in this guitar. I find myself on the middle setting of this this guitar all the time. It's a twin humbucker guitar. Yeah, one of them's a blade. But I love playing in the middle setting. Half of this and half of that. I'm getting old. I don't want the overdrive anymore. I want the sustain, and I want the sting and the attack. But I don't really want that saturated. I mean, the amp can't even do it. I've got it. I'm forever turning that gain down. As the years go up, the gain goes down. What else is going on? Rival, never seen a guitar not like this. Is it because of the tremolo system? Yeah. Floating, fully floating bridge. All this stuff going on in the back. So the bridge doesn't sit flat. You can hear the flutteriness. So then that is usually paired up with a locking nut. It's just to help with tuning stability. So the theory goes that as you yank on this, pull it up and down, the string's getting dragged through the nut. So if it's any other type of nut, you'll be dragging some of the string through, and then it doesn't all go back. So you're making your strings flat because of that friction. So they devised this, you know, those boffins, and you tighten it. It's just an Allen key. Don't know what you call those in other countries, but Allen key. Tighten it, and then there you go. The theory is that you can do all this crazy stuff, and then it's perfectly back to its original pitch. Matt, crowd-pleasing rubbish. Yes, crowd-pleasing rubbish hits such as we don't need no education. We don't need no law control. I don't look this dead in the eyes when I'm playing it. I like the song, you know, don't get me wrong, Pink Floyd are good, but I was playing that song for a long time, and I'd do some cool, what was it? We don't need no, what was it? There was one. Need no law control. And I'd get people clapping and singing the lyrics, and it was all very cheesy. Sounds better on acoustic. Alright fellas, Seagull Guitarist, hello. JD, I wish when I was playing in a bar and wedding bands I'd thought of naming the band Crowd Pleasing Rubbish. Also, Blazing Saddles. You got it. The wavy hand. Crowd Pleasing. I'm going to start a band called Duvet. They only play covers. That's terrible. I've also got another job, but it's not very nice. Seagull Guitarist. The P word was brutal. The P word. You'll have to remind me. Music just vanished overnight. Slowly getting back into gigging now. Finally, always count my blessings now. Music. Oh, the P word. Oh, that P word. It was horrible. Yeah. So it's completely killed off my live playing, and I'm completely out of practice with all them riffs and songs that I used to do. I loved it. I used to love. You know, I had this version of the Trooper that I'd do, and I'd stick a capo, I think, on fret 2, and it would go Take my life, but I'll take yours too. You fire my skip, but I'll run it through. So when you're waiting for the next attack, you better stand, there's no falling back. The bugle sounds, the charge begins, but on the battlefield no one wins. The smell of blah blah blah, and we march into a sudden death. Again, sounds a lot nicer on acoustic. I've got a full version, I think, of that on my channel when I ran out of ideas and needed a filler. I started doing that, just putting random acoustic covers on. Robert Mazerovsky says, do you have an email address? I do, it's in the description of this video. It's just acguitartuition@gmail.com. Just use that to say hello. It's usually for people who want to take lessons with me. They contact me through that and we start having lessons. Zach Watson, do I know any interesting guitar shops in Edinburgh or Glasgow? I've only ever been to Scotland once, and that was just to hop on a plane to go over to the Orkney Islands. I've never been properly, which is ridiculous to say, living where I live. I do keep meaning to say I'm going to go, but I've never been. I couldn't tell you. Matt says, you got a question on finger placement when playing the scale shapes, mainly 3 notes per string. Is there a right finger pattern to use? Specifically, when should I use finger 2 or finger 3? When playing 3 note runs, for example, okay. I know I keep going on about my course. There's 10 people in the chat. Welcome. If anyone's new, give this chat a like and a comment. It helps it get seen by people. As I keep mentioning, I am doing my course, and on my in my course, in whatever form it's going to take, I don't know how it's going to happen when it's finished, but I'll give you a bit of a teaser. It talks a lot about, well, a bit, about finger 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, and then the stretch. So, I talked about this in a warm-up video I did recently. That when the notes, what did you give an example of on a C major shape? Okay, so that starts with this odd one out, the stretch, and it's only really for me. I'm quite strict with this kind of stuff with myself and with students. Apart from this one, because you can play fret 8, 10, 12, E, C, D, E, and you can play that with fingers 1, 3, and 4, or 1, 2, and 4. It's up to you. In my opinion, I've always used finger 3. I like the way it makes my hand look and feel. We like to keep fingers as straight as possible. When we're not doing vibrato, we adopt that class. If you want to do the shred stuff, you've got to adopt as much of the classical hand technique as possible. So you end up with a 1, 3, 4 as a stretch, then another stretch, then 1, 2, 4. That would be really weird to skip out finger 2 and go. So use finger 1, 2, 4, then 1, 2, 4 again, then 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. No. Brings the full humbucker out when he needs it, when he needs to hide the sloppiness. No one wants to watch me try and build that up. Bit out of practice, need a bit of a warm-up. Okay, JD, if you're getting started playing scales and arpeggios over looped chords, what is the best way to work on it rhythmically? How would you count the bars and changes? That's a nice question. I was talking about this. I had a student before and we were talking about, I was trying to get him to think about using arpeggios over chords. Chords change. Sometimes we have a static vamp. Vamp just meaning a backing track, a bit of rhythm to, like a bed, like a generic bed. You can have static vamps, or you can have a chord progression. And this chord progression here is, well, I've got this up, let's use it. So this is D minor. Oh, that's white on white. That's not very useful. D minor, followed by G minor, then A minor, A7. Okay. And the thing that I like to get people to do, and I got someone to do today, was to just simply play arpeggios over the top. A minor, A dominant 7, D minor. Very quick A minor, A dominant 7 there. So you end up with D minor, G minor, or G minor 7, A minor 7, yeah, A minor, A dominant 7, D minor. I can play it faster than I can speak it, and I definitely can't do both at the same time. So rhythmically speaking, rhythm is a massive one. What was your actual question? What's the best way to work on it rhythmically? Just think about rhythm. So you've got 3 notes that you can play over a D minor chord. I'm not going to ask the chat. It's not that kind of stream today. It's D, F, and A. I might accidentally put in the C just because I like it. So let's not put rhythm in to begin. Changes to G minor there. Now I'm going to think of rhythm, and an exercise is to think up a rhythm first. So what about 1, 2, and 3, 4? 1, 2, and 3, 4. Wrong chord. I played a D minor over an A minor 7. That works. What about something more syncopated? 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 5. You can steal rhythms. What about Smoke on the Water? Ba, 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 ba. I mean, I'm one of those moments where I realise I'm just completely stealing this from Paul Gilbert. He says this almost word for word in a video. Let me paraphrase if you've not seen it, and then quickly move on before people realise I'm just a massive hack. Steal Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water. Can you hear it? You get the idea, I'm sure you do. Retrospective, the neck on your old 565 felt a lot flatter and wider than the reissue neck. That would be interesting. I would like to know how it feels, so feel free to send yours over to me. I'll keep it for a couple of years, compare it to mine, and then maybe give it back to you. Rival, if you break a string on this though, the tuning goes all over the place, or not really. It's horrible. Rival, you have to want to love doing this. Or even just a nice subtle. You have to love the ability to do that, because the pros and cons. The cons massively outweigh the pros. If you lose a string, it's hopeless. The tension releases and your strings sound like that. Now, I do have a Prestige where you put a little bar, a separate bar in there. It's got a fancy name like the, I don't know, ever in tune bridge or something. I'm sure someone will know in the chat. That one's really good. You can drop D, a fully floating bridge on that, and I did many times. But I took it out because it makes the whammy bar really stiff, and I like it floppy. As the floppier, the better. Okay. Retrospective, it goes out a bit. It depends on the guitar, doesn't it? And the tuning and your string gauge. There's a lot. However much tension and which string snaps as well. However much tension that string was creating, as soon as you lose that string, the springs on the back compensate accordingly. It's never good. Seagull guitarist, that's cool, man. Have you ever seen Bumblefoot play both parts at the same time? It's a bit nuts. I don't know what you're referring to there. Bumblefoot is a name to me. It's not the kind of name you go around forgetting. But I mean, he's affiliated with Guns N' Roses. I may have even seen Bumblefoot play because I've seen Guns N' Roses a couple of times with and without Slash. Against my will, but I've seen them. Not against my will. The headlined festivals that I've stood there and watched from afar. Guns N' Roses is one of those bands where I appreciate everything that they've done and do, but I never stick them on. I think Bumblefoot is probably one of those session guitarists, or he's got other bands and he's an amazing guitarist in his own right. I think I associate him more with Guns N' Roses. Don't know anything about him. Buckethead was in Guns N' Roses when I saw one once. Yeah. Just in case too much time passes, that's a reference to the Trooper. Okay, yeah, thank you for clarifying that. I did need it. Yeah, doing both bits. I try. Not as well as Bumblefoot, though, I'm sure. Anyway, and when I play that song, not that many people know what it is, and then I'll bring out Something Gone, Something Gone, and everyone knows that one, even though I forget the chords, or Eye of the Tiger, or You Give Love a Bad Name. I mean, we are talking crowd-pleasing rubbish, as I said earlier. Okay, keep some theory questions coming in, because that keeps me chatting for longer. Mickey Chan says, cool guitar. And do you like Ibanez AZ? This is a cool guitar. Thank you very much. And I love this guitar. The Ibanez AZ, it's okay. All this roasted maple seems to be the big thing, doesn't it? And all those Ibanez AZ guitars have got the roasted maple. I like good old-fashioned unroasted maple. All my guitars, bar two, I think, have just got maple necks of some description. I think it's just an aesthetics thing. I'd love to play an AZ. More than I'd love to play the Q range, I'll put it that way. I'm an RG fan, collector, I suppose, as well. The AZ range, it seems like Ibanez catering for an audience of guitarists that don't like the flashy fluorescent stuff. And I like that stuff, so I will stick with them when they do this stuff. The AZ range, if someone's going to give me one, of course I'd play it, but I'm not going to save up. I mean, I've seen the prices on them, they're upwards of £2,000. I'm not going to be saving that much up for an AZ. Some of them are really nice though, but the roasted maple trend, I'm not on board with that one. Yeah, always have a backup RG when playing live, definitely. Hardtail if you've got one, or even blocked off. I've got a yellow RG in there, just a 350, and I've just put a block of wood in there, right in between there, and then loosened the springs, and the tension of the strings alone keeps that wood in place, and I can tune that. I teach kids, what do you want to learn? Oh, it's in open tuning. What's that band? Stone Roses. They've got a weird song in standard in an open tuning that I've been teaching recently, and I go to the next house. What do you want to learn? I learn the Rolling Stones. Oh, okay, let's tune it back. It's there are ways around it, but the bottom line is you've got to love doing this, or else what's the point? Just get either a non-floating bridge or just a hardtail bridge, fixed bridge, whatever you call it. Tuners at the bottom, design or any benefits. Some people talk about string tension and how that changes due to the length of strings. I don't notice it, especially with a locked. Surely not. Surely with a locked. Yeah. Do you know what? I've never thought about it in depth. For me, it's just the way it looks. But I am very shallow when it comes to guitar. I'm a very shallow man when it comes to playing guitar. It's got to look the part. All them Dimarzio pickups I've got in my guitars, not because I like Dimarzio pickups, because I wanted them yellow. But then I'm not just buying yellow bobbin covers because, you know, that's I'm only joking. I'm joking to a certain extent. I do like the sound of Dimarzio pickups. I'm being a bit silly there. No, I just like the way it looks. It's different to the other RGs I've got. It means that I have to put it in the rack opposite the others because I've got the rack really close to the wall. Okay, Robert Mazerovsky. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mazerovsky. I'd like to know where you're from with a surname like that. It's always nice to know where people who watch my channel are from. And you ask, if somebody sticks a gun to your head, okay, good start, and steals all your guitars and leaves you one, and you could choose, which one would it be? That's a very, you know, for the kind of psychopath that would do that, that's quite a nice thing for him to do, and take a bit of pity on me. Okay, my heart has to say the 550. It's downstairs, I can't grab it at the minute. It's packed away in its case. My heart says 550, but ask again in a year, and it might be the 565. I've got a Prestige. I've got a Fender Elite Strat. I've got a Charvel, which, you know, in terms of expensiveness, is the same, but the other two, the Prestige and the Elite Strat, notice how I'm not even saying them. Money means nothing when it comes to guitars. I think there's a cut-off point, personally. No, they can have them, they can sell them, they'd want them, they'd love that, wouldn't they? What have you got? Oh, Fender Elite Strat. You're going to want to keep that? No. Oh, well, that's because I want this. You have the Elite Strat, you get the money from it. I'm going to do a bit more playing. I'm going to start afresh. I'm going to choose a different key. Let's change this back to Q&A. I'm liking today. I was liking last time, but not having a plan is nice. It's a bit of a load off my mind to just chat to some nice people who like talking about guitars. Loop. It does mean that I run the risk of actually switching off and forgetting that I'm streaming and start picking my nose and swearing and stuff. What shall we do? Don't want to keep you waiting too much. What about just a nice 1/4 chord progression? A 1/4 chord progression in the key of D flat and G flat, major 7. Sorry, yeah, is that right? Yeah, it is right. It didn't sound right. Let's get a bit of percussion in there. Need volume for percussion. Look at me, I'm Ed Sheeran. you know when I'm doing that, I'm mapping out the neck. I'm flapping around like a fish out of water, and I'm thinking, what key, what shapes? That's why I don't look at my guitar, because I'm trying not to let the dots and the non-dots sway me, because I'm trying to pick out the shapes, and I've mapped out the neck now, so I go in a bit more confidently. That's just letting you know how I think about music. So now I can come in with stuff like okay. Oh, the chat's slowing down. Don't go slowing down on me. We're only halfway through it. Give me some questions down there in the chat. It keeps the stream going, or else I'll just have to think of stuff off the top of my head, and I'm not prepared to do that today. Okay, Seagull guitarist, you jumped ship with Guns N' Roses when Bumblefoot joined. Okay, since got over yourself and discovered him properly as an artist. His solo stuff is ridiculous. Seems like a genuine, decent bloke too. Yeah, I'm sure he is. I think I can picture him in my head. But I've only ever really seen him scrolling on Instagram or whatever, and seen him pop up in YouTube thumbnails, and just being aware of him that way. Never really made time to listen to him, and I know I should. Robert Mazerovsky, HHH versus HSS versus HSH versus SSS versus HS versus HH. What's your favourite? And then second favourite. Good question. I know the bottom one is going to be HH. He says playing this. I think more is better. More is more. As a wise Swede once said. I'm probably going to say that HSH is, for me, the best of all the worlds, followed by HSS. I'd like a guitar, a proper guitar that's got HSS. I don't have one. I've got a lot of HSHs. This is an HH. I've got another HH, the black one. That's in a funny tuning. I put some heavy gauge strings on it and put it in a funny tuning. So I don't really play that one that much. That's my extreme metal guitar that I like to mess about with death metal riffs on. Yeah, so HSH, just for the sheer amount of tone that you can get out of it. But then I'm going to go second favourite, HSS, because I feel like I could experiment with that a lot. I'd like to see what's going on up at this side of the pickup switch. That side, I'd know what was going on, humbucker and single. But single and single, I suppose it's like it's a half strat, half super strat, isn't it? Yeah, that'd be a good one. Seago heard Chinese Democracy before it was released. Working in a studio at the time, producer at Connections, and knew you were a huge Guns N' Roses fan. Wow. And decent speakers, you were disappointed by it. I remember that Chinese Democracy took about, what was it, about 11 years to come out. It seemed that it was in production throughout my teens and then some. And I know that a lot of people were deflated when it came out. Do they still play songs? I think that was the tour that I saw them on. They played Download, a festival in England, and they headlined, and it was the first headline band that I ever saw at a festival. So that would probably put it at Download 2006-ish, 2005, 2006. That sounds about right. and they lost the crowd, both metaphorically speaking and literally. A lot of people walked away, which is sad for a massive band like that. I know that they have a certain reputation for stuff like that. They came on late, and Axl Rose kept walking off stage and all the rest of it. Yeah, it was an interesting gig. Anyway, Robert Mazurowski says, yes, you're pronouncing it right. Good, excellent. Matt says, RG550 easy. Okay, yeah, that same psychopath with the gun. Mickey Chan says, how to practice guitar? Do basic exercise or learn songs? This was almost a poll. Do any of you do my polls? Let me know in the chat. I'd like to know. I know it doesn't tell me who answers those polls. I do a poll every Tuesday at midday, English time, UK time. And I was thinking about this, you know, what is the best way to practice? Learn theory, learn songs, as in covers, and see what the result was. The answer is just always yes to all. Keep all those plates spinning. Do a bit of improv. Learn a cover or two. Cover or two here and there, because they're always good to revisit. You try and learn a song, and you go, this is way too hard. Then you come back to it in 4 weeks and go, oh, it's a bit easier now. Learn a snippet of theory. Get a teacher. It's always a good one. Just make sure that you think to yourself before every session, every practice session, what do I want to get out of this? If you don't do that, you're only setting yourself up for failure, for sitting there playing the guitar. Playing the guitar is not practicing the guitar. So make sure you've got an aim. Make sure that you set out and you go, what do I want to get out of this? Okay, I want to just play arpeggios over the chords. I've talked about that already. Or I want to be able to play that riff by Megadeth at 80 BPM. Yesterday I could do it at 75. That keeps the progress ticking over. It gives your brain that nice little hit of success, that little tick. Makes you come back for more. That's really the bottom line. I've got loads of videos on my channel about probably clickbaity titles like 5 things that you need to do when you practice. Search my channel, type in the word practice on my channel, and you'll see my thoughts on it in further depth. Yeah. Keep those likes coming and the questions definitely, or else it'll just force me to play, and we don't want that. JD says, thoughts on Frank Gambale? Still don't know how to pronounce it. I love him. I love Frank Gambale. Frank Gambale. He's in Chick Corea's electric band, or was. Fusion guitar. And Frank Gambale, I'm just gonna call him Frank. And Frank, fusion guitar, that's all I've been listening to. Fusion guitar, and he's on the playlist. Massive playlist, hundreds of songs. Maybe not that many, upwards of 200 songs. Love it. That is the style of guitar that I would love to merge with the harder rock edge. Not sure where I'm going with my playing. Recently, you might have seen a video I did where I talked about this corner that I'm backing myself into, but I'm determined to break out of it. That fusion-y stuff is playing, that outside playing the wrong note. You've got the correct ones in front of you. With confidence, playing the wrong notes with confidence, so they sound right, using them as approach notes, enclosures, picking out chord tones from above, below, all that approach note stuff. He and his peers, that's all I've been listening to, so massive respect for his playing. Yeah, love Frank Gambale, even though I've never bothered to learn how to pronounce his second name. Matt says, any exercises for finger stretching from fret 1 to fret 5 with finger 4. You find yourself using the side of your first finger to fret 1. It isn't comfortable. Any tips? Well, you've got to be right up to that fret wire. But using the side of your finger is fine. The way you word that question makes you think that to fret a note with the side of your finger is improper, which, you know, some people play the guitar. I've seen people gig like this over the top. We can't really say what's right and what's wrong, really, as much as the classical teachers and classical guitars would probably beg to differ. When we're in the world of rock music and pop and funk and soul and jazz, we can get away with whatever we want. So when it comes to bar chords, I'm forever telling people to use the side of the fingers like this, to not be so dead straight with the fingerprint part of your finger. So the same applies with this stuff. If I want to, what did you say, from fret 1 to fret 5? Yeah, if we were in person and I'd showed you the edge of my finger there, you can see that the mark, the indentation that the string leaves, not on my fingerprint part of my finger, it's on the side. Some of it is really close to touching my nail. I have to do that, or else I won't reach that. Would I? Yeah, but it won't be comfortable. Maybe if I sat properly, some people do that. No, even then, I'm using the side of my finger. Yeah, but stretching is a good exercise to do. And then for the old Kirk Hammett thing, and then that finger, and then that finger. I'm sure you've seen him talk about that one. Rival says 150 BPM. Not sure what that. I've got a short-term memory. Not sure what that is. Seago guitarist. All the right notes, not necessarily in the right order. Spoken by Eric Markham. Eric Markham? Ernie Wise and Eric Markham. Yeah, Eric Markham. Zach Watson. Do you think rock and metal have passed their peak popularity? I don't. No. I think that metal and rock is the underdog and always will be the underdog of the music world. I don't know where you're from, Zach. There's a program. I was mourning to the other half the other night, as I often do, about the current state of music. There's a program that comes on over here, and it's called Jules Holland, and it's this bloke who is amazing. He's amazing. He's a piano player, and he gets people from all around the world to come and play on his stage on BBC Friday nights, and it's on for about an hour. And he gets world music, R&B, jazz, pop, adult contemporary, whatever you'd call it, and never gets rock and metal on there. And I was having a good old moan about it, which I won't do here. I don't need to. You know the frustration if you're a rock and metal fan, that it doesn't have a lot going, like fighting in its corner, which makes it very easy to say, oh, is it as popular as it used to be? I don't think so, because the money speaks for itself. I'm going to a festival in 2 weeks' time. There's going to be about 100,000 people there. And them tickets are not cheap. And I'm going to be camping for 5 days. And I'm going to be living off pot noodles and warm beer for the love of it. What I'm trying to say is that it's got its hardcore group of core of fans that keep it going, and the fans of rock and metal look after the bands in terms of longevity. I'm going to see Deep Purple, Iron Maiden, Saxon, Scorpions. If you get your foot in the door as a rock band, you're set for life because you've got loyalty on your side. So it won't really break the charts, but charts don't mean what they meant years ago. The internet took care of that a long time ago. I think it's potentially bigger than it's ever been because of the internet. I went to a gig not too long ago. Again, Mayhem, to talk about Mayhem. song is this? What song is that? Anyway, a band called Mayhem. And there are loads of young people there, and Mayhem are one of these second wave black metal bands that came out in the early 90s. And I'm thinking, where are these young uns hearing about bands like this? And it's just the internet. Go to gigs and there's young people there. We don't have to worry about rock and metal. We do, because people like Gene Simmons go around saying things about it being dead, and it sparks a debate, which is fun to do. But I think it's just news headlines, isn't it? It just keeps people clicking on websites. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's as popular, if not more popular, than it's ever been. Matt says, thanks for that. That's the same part of my finger I'm using. Yeah, just use the side of your finger. Side of your finger, you're fine. Finger one is a weird one anyway, isn't it? It just plants itself down there, and all the other ones do all the work, and this gets the same credit. Joel Canavan Guitar says, hey Ant, what's up, mate? Hello, Joel Canavan. I don't know if I'm sure, have you commented on my videos? You might be a new name to me. That is cool. It's cool. If you are new, if you've been commenting on all my videos and I don't recognise your name, then that's a massive faux pas on my part. So apologies in advance if that's the case. But Joel, welcome to the channel and welcome to the live stream. Do you have a question about music theory? I'm going to go for about 10 more minutes, 10, 15 more minutes. I'm enjoying myself. Rival says, oh, it didn't show the message because it includes a link. Is that the 150 BPM thing? Okay. Okay. Todd 0864 says, any tips to start practicing with a looper? Any tip? You have to know, I recommend loopers to everyone. When it gets to Christmas time, and the kids that I teach, you know, I teach all ages, but there's some kids that I go to, you know, I drive around, I teach online, lessons are available, link in description. I don't do that often, so let me have one. I drive around to kids' houses, and then it gets to Christmas time or birthday, and they've got money burning holes in the pocket, and they, what gear shall I buy? Looper. Looper. If not a cool new guitar, upgrade guitar, whatever, and get yourself a looper. And the biggest, and they get one and they go, okay. And then that's about it. And they go, why have you recommended me this? The first step to take is to know when to loop. You have to visualize your music now being written on a piece of paper. You have to count. You have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. The thing that everyone does is this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1. It's how to sync. Your first step with a looper is knowing about the bars of music. That's different for different people. Todd, you might have a real strong sense of bars and beats and go, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Give me more stuff. So let me know in the chat. But that is a massive one that I teach a lot of when people have got loopers. Same with riffs. You have to imagine. Well, I'm going to do that one again because I did something there. I played this riff that I was made up on the spot. That's the entire riff. But you heard me go. I actually played the beginning note again. That's because I want to link that with my foot and go. It picks up on the looper a bit, but only because I was exaggerating it. Let's see if I can get it a bit smaller. You wouldn't know it was there, but I did it to keep everything locked in. There's a lot of loose looping going on out there, and that's the first thing that I crack down on when people buy a looper. Seagull guitarist. Are there any 80s bands still around that you consider are still absolutely killing it? Well, Iron Maiden. They're from the 70s. Are they? Wow, I can't believe I don't know that. When did Iron Maiden come out? When did the debut come out? I won't be surprised if it was like 79 or something. Yes, Killing Joke. They are one of these. There's a handful of bands whose albums got better as they went on. I love talking about this. Radiohead, although the last couple are not my cup of tea, but when you think about the Britpop years, I don't listen to them at all. And then OK Computer and Kid A and Amnesiac and what was the best one? In Rainbows. Just got better and better and better and better. Killing Joke start off, they could sound like a New Romantics band. And now they're producing some of the heaviest, hardest, industrial tinged rock metal that I've ever heard. And they are in their 60s, late 60s. Don't know. I only saw them a couple of weeks ago. Feels like a couple of weeks. About March, something like that. And they are incredible. And they came out in the 80s. Loads. I think... okay, let me flip the question around to you. And can you tell me any bands from the 80s who aren't killing it anymore? Let me know in the chat. And that goes for everyone, not just Seago. Mickey Chan, Kiko from Megadeth, practice alternate picking spider walk exercise with moving only one finger at a time. Do you think it's very useful or just a waste of time? A friend of mine called Adam showed me this one. So there's the spider walk exercise, easy version. Go up and strict alternate picking. Or you can do, presumably, what you're talking about, where you go and you keep those fingers down, and then you only move the fingers when they're required. It's a nice exercise. He showed me this probably in, I don't know, 2003, and it's now 2022. I don't know why I looked at the clock. It's 2022. So it must be worth. I must think it's worth it if I still know it and I still do it. I still talk about that. I teach everyone the spider walk, but then to do this version. It's a tough one, so that must mean it's good for you. Okay. Seagull Guitarist, I have to wrap this up in a couple of minutes. Seagull Guitarist says, sometimes find it useful to loop a drone note, especially when you're trying to get into the essence of a scale or a mode. Oh, definitely. So you would just go. That's an E, and then you can do all that crazy Satriani pitch axis stuff. You can do Lydian, Dorian, Phrygian, Mixolydian, Ionian, Locrian, all the modes, and listen to the way it sounds. Yeah, love that as an exercise. You don't need the looper for it if you don't care about not using the bottom string. You can do all that stuff. Okay, Rival, can you confirm that this is playable as written? Seems awfully tricky to me. Sent an email named 150 BPM. I would love to have a look at that, Rival, but it's gone 15:15 now, and I'm only doing till about, I say in my mind 15:15, but then I always overhang. Remind me of it next time, and I'll talk about it on the next one. Seagull Guitarist, Bon Jovi. Feel bad for Phil X in that situation. I saw a video of Bon Jovi not too long ago. It's always the vocalist, isn't it? What I will do is I will fight the corner of vocalists, and I will say that no matter how incredible a band is, there's a lot of weight on a vocalist's shoulders. And if they have an off night, people will be like, oh no, they've lost it. The band collectively has lost it. And I do know that there's a bit of a revolving doors situation with the personnel in Bon Jovi, and a lot of the bands from the 80s. But in terms of music, okay, they've got some incredible songs. What about Roulette? Or what's that one that's like proper? What's that one now? Raise Your Hands by Bon Jovi is one of the best metal songs I've ever heard. Yeah, compared with It's My Life, there is a bit of a, in my opinion, a bit of a decline in music that I'd like. But then I'm sure the money, you know, the radio airplay, as with a lot of bands. No, I'm not going down that path. That's for another video. Megadeth and Metallica, the best years are behind them. On the other hand, on the other side, the Last Saxon and Maiden. Yeah, I know a lot of people think that. Meant to say Last Saxon, Maiden, and Exodus and Death Angel were great. Okay, yeah. Right, I've really got to wrap this up now, so let me just read the last couple. True, he could still bounce back. Not sure what's going on with him personally. I think you're talking about John Bon Jovi. Yeah, we'll see what happens. See what happens. Mums love Bon Jovi to this day. Of course they do. He's turned into quite the silver fox these days. Mr. Ada, just saying hello as I'm going. Hello, Anthony. Where's my Sky Blue Strat Elite? I was talking about that earlier, and not in the best of light either. So don't watch the rest of the live stream. I was saying just good things about it. I was saying all good things about it. You don't have to worry. Okay, that's a nice place to end it. I've been Anthony Couch, as always. Next time might have a bit more structure. It might not. I don't know. It depends. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye.